Hey friends, welcome back to Pretty Extra. I'm your host, Amanda Saez, and today we're talking about what does it really mean to be pretty extra? I am trying to make sure that everyone is aware of what message I'm trying to get across when I'm creating these podcasts and these posts. And I don't want everyone to get this misperception of, oh, Amanda is trying to tell the world that, perfection is like the main standard in the world. Like, no. Okay, here's my form of being extra. Let me tell you my story. So, my entire life, I have always been extra. For me, being extra is just me living my authentic self. And that is what I mean by being extra. Literally just being you. And for me, when I'm saying like, oh, be extra, it's just like literally like be yourself in whatever way or form that means. I'm not saying be perfect or like be like a particular way. I'm saying be extra in whatever makes you happy the most, I grew up in a small town where being extra was not very typical. And so I felt like I had to make myself smaller to fit in, and I still didn't fit in. And I think that's what kind of led me to Miami, which I don't think that I realized that. Maybe it was something that I did without thinking about, but maybe it just drew me to Miami unknowingly. I knew that I just was not going to thrive here in New Jersey. So I needed to go somewhere where I would feel more accepted. Miami is definitely somewhere that I could be as extra as I want, and it's totally accepted. It's actually odd if you go out in Miami and you're not extra. So I'm in a place where I totally belong. And yeah, but when I was younger, I would go to school with like Juicy Couture boots, shimmery bags, and people would look at me and laugh. And I get it, like we were kids and stuff, but that was just me living like my authentic self, For me, it's not about trying to get attention. It's not about trying to be anything. I feel like myself when I'm wearing pink. I feel like myself when I have something glittery on. I feel like I'm representing myself and my personality. I understand that that's not how everyone else is. I don't expect everyone else to be that way. Maybe Sarah, I'm just naming like some random person. Maybe Sarah feels pretty extra wearing black. Maybe she feels amazing in her goth outfit. That's how she feels authentic. Like, go Sarah, So for me, that's what I mean. It's just like being your authentic self. And I think that's amazing. The reason why I call it being extra is because you're basically standing out by being yourself. You know how they always say like, when everyone tries to copy each other or fit in, like they all start looking the same. Being extra is just by being yourself and looking different from everyone else because you're standing out, you're being yourself. So for me, I am not like the typical person that just like wears regular clothes and feels like comfortable. Like I would not feel comfortable going out with like no makeup and my hair undone and like sweatpants. Could I do it? Yes. Would I like it? No. Is it because I'm like seriously insecure? No, I just don't feel like myself. I think that I look perfectly fine without makeup, but I don't know. I just feel like myself when I'm all dolled up. That is just how I am. And it's pretty understandable how it could be hard, especially nowadays with the way that society is. They're always pushing like this idea of perfection, especially with influencers and models. I remember when I was, I don't know, like in 7th grade, I was probably like 12 or 13. They had the Victoria's Secret models. And I was like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. I want to be just like them. And I'm naturally like super skinny. So I grew up seeing that and I just always like wanted to be like them. And since I was like super skinny, I thought like, oh my God, like I have a body like them. Well, once I had moved to Miami, they don't like skinny people. They love people with big boobs, big butt, curves, all that stuff, which it is like, every body is beautiful. But for me, I think I'm so petite that I would look weird like that. I have so many friends that they are gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous with their big boobs and everything. But for me, like I actually did have huge boobs at one point because I was on birth control and I didn't realize how big my boobs had gotten until I got stretch marks all over me. I went from a B to a double D and I started crying. And I was like, Mommy, I was a teenager. I was like, Mommy, my boobs, like they're so big. And she was like, no, they look beautiful. And I was like, no, I don't feel like, I didn't feel like myself, you know, like it's just everyone feels comfortable a certain way. And that was just not me. I remember when I had just became single in Miami and I started going on dates with guys, and guys, literally, I'm not even exaggerating. It's so embarrassing. They would say to me, oh my God, you're so skinny. Don't you want to get like a BBL? I don't even have enough fat on my body to get a BBL. And so, you know, it makes you question, even though like up here in like New York, New Jersey, it's like considered like the body if you're skinny. But when I go down to Miami, it's almost like shamed. So that's why I don't like thinking of the ideal perfection, like, oh, the standards, all that kind of stuff, because no matter where you go, people are going to judge you. They're going to probably like shame all different things. There is no standard. There isn't any perfection. If you think that there is perfection, like there isn't. I'm sorry to tell you that, but there isn't. So that's why I like to say, like, be happy with the way that you feel comfortable and the way that you are, you know, because like for me, I'm happy being a twig. I do not think that I would look good with double D boobs. I like having little boobs because I did have them at one point. And like the first thing that you saw, since I'm so small, was my boobs. And it was just uncomfortable for me. Also for running, it was uncomfortable. I don't think that I would look good with like a huge butt. I think I could use a little bit of a bigger butt, but not like a huge butt because I'm just so small that it would just overpower me, you know? And I don't want for people to just look at that when they see me, you know? But there are so many gorgeous women, they would probably not look good if they had my body, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, don't look at other people and compare yourself, because just do whatever makes you feel happy. And if other people criticize it, I always say, well, that they're not for you. And another thing is like when people are criticizing the way that you look, what you do with your life, your relationships, anything like that, I always like, I sit back and I analyze a situation. I'm like, okay, they're criticizing, let's say it's like my job or whatever. I look at their job and I'm like, are they someone that inspires me? Yes or no? And I'm like, if they are not someone who I aspire to be, then I probably should not take their advice or what they're saying like super personal, because it's like, why should I take advice from someone that I don't care to be like, you know? It's like a lot of people will just say things that are really hurtful and trying to bring you down. And sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes they're like actually trying to help you, but it's not very helpful, you know? So that's how I like to get through life, is just trying to be me, and whoever actually loves me and accepts me the way that I am, they're my people. If like you have friends or family that they cannot accept you the way that you are, makes you happy, if they don't like that, like bye, you know? It's like that, they're not for you. A lot of people will meet me and they'll be like, oh, you're so confident. Like, don't you have any insecurities? And I'm like, being confident, that's basically what it means. It's like, you have to notice your strengths and your weaknesses or like your flaws, you know? It's like when you're cocky, that's when you just think like, oh, I am better than everyone. I am better at everything than anyone else. Like, no, when you're confident, you're like, okay, I'm a great person. I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I am not good at this, but maybe someone else could be. I'm not better than this person, but I'm a great person. And if they treat me badly, then they don't deserve to be in my life. But if they're a good, loving person, then of course they deserve that. And they deserve to be cared for as well. So I really feel like confidence is super important. And that's another thing that I try to like embody in the Pretty Extra ethos, because it is really important to be confident in yourself and know who you are. And a lot of people don't know who they are. And I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I don't think that I always knew who I was. I think that deep down I did, but I suppressed it a lot. It's almost like I came out of the closet, not in a sexuality way, but in soul searching kind of way. Like, oh my God, like here I am world, you know? It's like, oh, I found myself, and it's safe to express that, you know? So I feel very proud to express that now, and I want to share it with the world, and I want to encourage everyone in the world to do the same. I want everyone to feel like, okay, it's okay to be yourself. And whoever doesn't accept that, too bad, too sad. They can go hit the road. So I highly encourage for everyone to find their own extra. And that's the beauty of it, you know? You are your own person. And the world would be extremely boring if everyone was the same. So please be different. Please show some sort of authenticity. Like, we need that in this world. We need different people. We need uniqueness. We cannot have like the sameness all the time. And I think that's amazing. Like, no one should shame you for being different. You should surround yourself with people who celebrate your uniqueness. And if people try to push like perfection on you, you should definitely set like a heavy boundary on them. And if anyone tries to suppress who you really are, then bye. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on and say that. But just a quick update. I am launching my Patreon this week, hopefully by Wednesday. I am super excited, and I will have so many fun things on there. I'm going to have exclusive merch just for the Patreon members. I'm also going to have exclusive episodes, like bonus episodes. I'm going to have uncensored content. So like literally like the craziest of the craziest things and stories are going to be on the Patreon. There's going to be group chats on there. It's going to be a lot of fun and behind the scenes. So hopefully you guys will hop on that. But for now, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.